Welcome back to Greg's RC Garage, now slowly becoming Greg's Lego Garage, and today becoming Greg's wood shop. Today on the menu, I've got these two very long pieces of wood. Don't ask me anything about the dimensions or size, but I know that they're gonna work because I've done this once before. What am I doing, you may ask? Let me show you. I'm gonna be fixing this chicken yard door. As you can see, it's definitely seen better days. The gate over here, the latch, actually falls down every time you open it. The fencing's coming off, and that's a bad thing because that's basically the only thing that's holding this together. As you can see, it's very wobbly, and I have a lot of very ambitious chickens that love to get out of here and go in my mulch and make a big mess. My plan is to try to salvage all of the hardware and things that are on here. Mouthy chickens today. And replace all the wood. So I'm going to be putting thicker boards on the sides and then have the same thing across the top, but all new wood that's not splitting and basically allowing a Jurassic Park-like escape. Speaking of Jurassic Park, got the shirt on today, just like I did yesterday. Back to business though. We need to measure how wide this door is, and it looks like I did this 36 inches wide. Let's see how tall it is. 48 inches. Yeah, I think I was trying to match the height of the fence that's over here. So 36 by 48. That's very easy to remember. I'm gonna need a pencil for this. Gotta mark that right there. Oh, Croc Gang too today with the Sonic Croc Charm, and of course, a camera. I still blame my mother-in-law for everything. I don't think Clark Mann will mind me stealing a pencil from him. I debated whether to just make this and not film it, but I thought maybe somebody out there would enjoy coming along with me on this journey. We're just gonna mark that right at 48. We want to come down right on that line that I made, and that is just perfection right there. That's it. Oh, should be wearing eye protection for this. Cody says I look like a fly when I wear these. I never wear them because of that. They're cool enough to keep wood chips out of your eyes and girls from calling you. Terrible jokes aside, we have our two 48-inch sides built now, and now I can kind of show you what this door is going to look like a little bit. Imagine that we're actually looking at the door, one side, two sides, and then we're going to go across the top like that. Instead of going to 48 inches here, we're going to go to 36 right here. This one I'm going to have to kind of hold up a little bit because it wants to fall down on that side from the length that's on there. Not perfectly balanced like the last one was. Perfection. I think I'm going to do it like this. Oh, Sugar Shack. I just thought of something. When I measured that gate out there and it was 48 inches, that included this. Should I take another inch or so off of this to make it an actual 48, or should we just let it a little tall? It's always good to figure these things out before you finish the job and realize that you goofed up because you didn't account for things. Okay, you stay. Aha! 45 inches is how long the sides are. You'll do 46 inches on both sides. That'll bring this up like an inch, and it'd be pretty level with this at the top. The only downside of that is that I need to do 2 more cuts on those vertical boards, taking 2 inches off of each side, and then that introduces the possibility that they're not going to be the exact same size anymore. But I think I can pull this off. I did it before. I can do it again. Before I do that though, I will cut this one down to 36 because we know those numbers. You know what, I just realized that these don't have to be perfect because they're going to be sitting on top like this, so they can be a little long. That's not a big deal. It's these ones that need to be the same, but that's going to be what our door's like there. Only a little bit off each side. I decided to get scientific on this, so I'm going to do 2.75 off, which will put this right at 48 inches, assuming that I do my math right. Safety glasses back on. Set you guys down there. I'll hold this. And better. Now, that should give me the length that I want. Just got to do that one more time. For measuring this, I'm just going to line these up perfectly at the bottom. And then I'm going to draw the line right across there to make this perfection. try it out. See if everything worked. Got that there. And there. This one goes here like that. All lined up real nice. And now let's do the measuring and see if I did this right. This should be 48 inches. Oh, genius. Genius mode enabled. With all the cutting done, I'm gonna try something new this time that I did not do before when I built these doors. Welcome to the storage room of doom, and welcome to what I need. This is Gorilla wood glue. Before I would just put screws down through here, but I think the wood glue would be good just to kind of give it some structure. And then it'll be a solid square, so when I put the screws through, then it's just icing on the cake, it feels like. I want to do this, but I don't want to get glue on the floor. We'll use some newspaper. The baseball game I went to, right there. This probably end up getting glued to the newspaper, but at the very least it minimizes the mess. Job's always better with a helper, huh? You see a Roxy Bear. She's like more of a supervisor than a helper because she doesn't really do any work, but she definitely keeps me on track. Gravity is not our friend here. There we go. I almost had a stroke getting that out. I don't think I'm gonna get enough glue out of this to even make a connection. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna do this the dirty way. Take the lid off and say goodbye to my fingers and my camera because I'm sure I'm gonna end up touching it. We're just gonna smear some glue on there like that, like that. And maybe that'll work. I'll do both sides since I'm feeling frisky. We'll do this side too of this. Is that actually gonna work? I think I'm gonna need to use a lot more glue, but let's get all the sides done and we can come back through probably. It occurs to me now that I probably could have gotten some type of small paintbrush or something and done this instead of using my finger, but it was the tool that I had on hand at the time. On hand, get it? Leave a like for the dad jokes, come on now. You owe me that at least. Oh, this one has a sticker on the bottom. Get out of there. That was not a clean removal, but this glue is drying on my finger, so we're just gonna go right over that. Put a little bit more up here. This is when I was being a little careful initially, and then I just threw caution to the wind after that and just started gluing like a crazy man. There's no way this works. No way. But maybe enough to hold it together while I put all the screw holes in. While that's doing its thing, I went and got the rest of the tools that I need to finish this job. I got screws, deck screws. Seemed like something that could work for this, 2.5 inches. I got my drill with drill bits to help with that situation. I've got staples and these cutters. What could those be for? Oh, it's for the fencing that's gonna go on there, so I can cut that. I can do a lot while this is happening, but I've got another little project inside, and this one's a little more satisfying. Remember that part where my glue wasn't coming out? It's because it's all plugged up. And I'm doing some Dr. Pimple Popper type operating here to try to get that to be unplugged, so next time I go to get glue, it comes right out. Kind of just all dried in there. And this plastic thing that I found in the drawer, it's not doing the trick at all. How about a toothpick? Will a toothpick be any better? Being that it doesn't like fold up as much. Oh crap, it just broke. 100 million years later, I decided to actually get a screwdriver. And when you know it, when you use something that actually is a tool, it starts to work. Okay, this is the satisfying part that we've all been waiting for, I think. Although I think in my attempts, I may have like completely destroyed the lid of this, but maybe not. I don't know. Look at this. Oh yeah, here it comes. That was it. That was our earwax removal pimple popper moment right there. I got that off. And that was what was plugging this whole thing up. Wow. That's more of an accomplishment for me personally than building this chicken coop door today. Seriously. That is satisfying as heck. Beautiful. All right. It's gonna be a bit of a challenge to actually film because I have to stand on this. But what I want to show you now is me cutting this fence. So what I'm doing is just measuring this out 36 inches, going all the way out to here. Now this is sitting up a little bit, so we have to sit that down. But right here, this is the 36-inch mark, which will match up with the width of the door that's still drying over there. So I'm gonna use these cutters to cut down through this the whole way down, and that's gonna be the fence that I use for the door. The only complication is the fact that this thing wants to roll up. So right now I'm using my body weight to keep everything down. Now that I know what line I'm on, I can just go down through this just like this very easily and just keep cutting across. Okay. I've got a strategic decision to make now. Do I just go ahead and put that fence on now while this is still drying, giving this even more solidify, doing something to make it a little more structurally sound, and then I put my screws in? Or do I do the screws and then do that later? I think I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. Game time decision, changed plans. If I put those screws in there, it might tighten this down ever so slightly, which would change the dimensions ever so slightly, and my staples may not work. So I need to not put the cart before the horse and just be a little patient here and do it the right way. One surefire way to pass time is to edit videos, which I've just done 2 of, and that should be plenty of time for this to be nice and solid, and also to have the paper attached to it. But we can lift this right up, and my door is basically done. Man, that is really heavy though. That's way heavier than it was before without these double wide pieces on the side. But outside of a little bit of newspaper being on there, this is nice. This is exactly what I was hoping for. And now I can get into here and I can put these screws in the top. I'm gonna put 2 in each side, but I'm not just gonna screw these in because this could split. To remedy that, I brought these drill bits out, and I'll just pick one of the smaller ones in here, like this one, to make some pilot holes. I'm gonna put this clip in here just to remind myself to order a cordless drill every time I get this drill out, and the cord is here and I have to get an extension cord and all that. I remind myself to do that and I never do, and I probably won't this time either, so why am I bothering? There's no good way for me to film this that you'd actually be able to see it without like a head strap. So just pretend that you're with me on this. I'll show you the before and then I'll show you the after. It's just with the pilot holes drilled in using this, just like that. And then this is the after, where I use the screws to go all the way down through. And that is pretty darn solid. I think with the glue and those screws together, we can't lose. I'm now in the part that I was trying to do earlier, skipping ahead. Now I'm not, because I'm putting all the staples in. You can see this side is getting done. I did the bottom, and it lines up so perfectly. Like the way this is at the top, I love that. So yeah, this is turning out just the way that I wanted it to. And I'm just gonna put some staples in. In fact, I'll give you a little taste of what that's like. Or so I thought. I'm out of staples. Let's hope that I have some staples here in the storage room of doom, and I do. This is not something that I do very often, so I have to figure out how to do this. Push that in, pull that out maybe. Yeah, okay. Whole line of staples. That should be plenty to do my fence. Yeah, that's how it's done. So I'm just gonna do that like 1,000 times around here. I can do it up to 1,500. We'll do 1,000. I'll give you a couple more for a good measure too. There's one for you. There's one for you. You ready for the grand reveal? Here it is, all finished up with the fencing in there, all assembled, screws in, wood glue on. It's built. I can see the excitement on the chickens' faces right now. They're so happy. What I need to do next is going to be the hardest part. I need to take these screws out to release this door, and then I need to put that one on, all while trying to keep these guys at bay. Remember that part earlier where I was talking about needing a cordless drill? Screws are out. Door is down. Chickens are distracted. It's good news. I will need that handle though, but we'll worry about that here in a second. This is going to come over here like this, and the only thing we need to do is to make sure this is high enough up that it doesn't hit the ground when it opens. Since this is a chicken operation, I'll use some chicken materials to help me with my support. Hey, that might actually work. I need one more hand. If I just had one more hand, this would be so much easier.
Got one in there. I'm gonna put one in the bottom down here just to kind of give me a little bit of a door so I can see how it closes. I can adjust this still if I need to. Oh, that was way easier. Okay. Now, let's get all this junk out of the way. Oh my gosh, the whole fence just fell off. Test fit. Looks good. Yeah. I like it. Very nice. Seal it up right there. I'm gonna have to move this over a little bit and then put my hook on. I'm noticing now too how far back this post is versus that one. You can see this one needs to come forward quite a bit. I just did some digging, but not too much digging, and I have this just the way that I want it. Take a look at that gorgeous door. Ignore all this stuff in the background. That was just in the process. Dug a little hole action, got some more dirt. Got it from under there. The chickens are thrilled because it brings up worms and various things that they can kick through. It's pretty much a win on all fronts, as is this door, as I ever so delicately open it up using the latch, and then you can just close it like this, and there it is. Now there is a little bit of gap, I'm gonna be honest. There's a gap there that kind of closes the bottom. I tried to fix that the best I could. I even got the old sledgehammer out to try hitting that, but without digging down about 2 feet into the dirt, I can't really correct that. So I'm just gonna, let it go. We'll just pretend that that doesn't exist. I can move it over a little bit, and it still works just fine, but yeah, I think I'm good with that. And if you look at it from the angle down here, that's pretty darn nice. So there's my new door. That was the process for doing it. Much better than this old rickety thing that I had. And again, I think the problem that I had and the mistake that I made was only using the thin stuff, because you can see how that twists when you only have one screw in there. That becomes a massive problem. Whereas this, I don't think I'm gonna have that problem. There's a lot of reinforcement here. We got the glue, which could be completely unnecessary. I'm probably gonna hear from like every person that's ever done woodworking in their life. They're gonna tell me I did this wrong, but as long as the chickens are in there and I can get in and out with no problems, I'm considering this a success. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me on this journey in door making. I hope you have a glorious rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next video. If you want to watch any other amazing Greg's World content, it's popping up right now as the chickens are enjoying their new dirt spot.